After extensive research, watching old TV reruns, Adam and Jamie have lit the fuse on a myth of explosive proportions. Attempting to take the pain out of painting, Mr. Bean shows us a home improvement shortcut. A bucket of paint, the mythical stick of dynamite, and the perfect paint job.
So that's our task. This British comedy show, the guy is lazy, doesn't want to paint his room, puts a stick of dynamite in a gallon of paint and blows it up, and that's going to paint the whole room.
You know, it's a chance for us to do some creative exploding of things, and I think we could have a lot of fun with it.
To recreate the myth, they'll need a small room, a gallon of paint, one unlucky neighbor for the human silhouette, and a dash of dynamite.
What's the plan?
Well, because it'd sort of defeat the purpose of this whole thing if you blew up the actual house that you were trying to paint in the process of using explosives to spread the paint.
Yeah.
So I think we should use a real house. We built a house in a half a day. It ain't pretty, but I think maybe it'll dress up with a nice coat of paint. I'm going to hang the Simulade. I'm going to put them about here because we want to get one of these sort of patterns on the wall from the spray of paint. Hopefully.
Adam takes care of the paint placement, but with a slight deviation from the clip.
I took the paint out of its metal can and put it in a plastic bucket because, well, the sheriff's department, the owners of the bomb range, the FBI are all a lot more comfortable if we don't have metal creating shrapnel and we just use a plastic bucket full of paint. Makes a lot more sense to them.
Which leaves just one key ingredient, the dynamite.
What we have is a plastic container that contains 1/3 pound of...
And that's about as much as we can tell you. It's go time. Painting with explosives.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't think I'd want to be in that room. If you were in this room, I would say you would go from something like a chuck roast to a filet mignon. In other words, you'd be very tenderized. Mythbusted.
Yeah, shockingly. What we saw on television is not replicatable in reality.
Having said that, I think there are ways that we can replicate the results of the myth and still keep to the spirit of it.
I'm thinking about small-scale experiments to try and ferret out the best technique.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to go small scale, and personally I don't really have an idea of what I want to do, but working incrementally through it I think is the answer.
Yeah.
This blast chamber will contain the explosions, and the white walls will illustrate the paint coverage.
That's beautiful.
Adam, inspired by yesterday's state-of-the-art binary explosive and firing system, designs his own ignition switch. With standard 5-gram packets of black powder and a set volume of paint, the determining factor will be the delivery device. Their first test is a control using a replica of Mr. Bean's bucket bomb. A repeat of yesterday's results, and they know their scale setup is accurate.
In 3, 2, there's just as likely nothing's going to happen, but here we go. 1.
Hey!
That was fabulous. You gotta see this. That's great. Here's what I'd like to do. I think you've got a couple of ideas, and I've got a couple of ideas. I'd like to make, using the 5 grams of powder, I'm going to try something.
Okay.
And why don't you try something, and we'll run a couple more tests. We can easily fit it in before the end of the day and see if we can't get better coverage.
Okay.
Adam's approach utilizes tubes of paint, with a straw packed with black powder suspended in the middle.
In 3, 2, 1.
That was a little more energetic.
That was. Well, I definitely got the middle of the room. Yeah, take a look at that. It's almost like just looking at this band where my charge was, that in order to use this method to paint the whole room, you'd need a column of paint and explosives, the height of the exact room.
Jamie's idea is based on the mortar. A metal vessel will hold and direct the paint. An explosive charge beneath the paint will provide the spray.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Well, that worked just like you said it would.
Well, not perfectly even, but that's the most even spray that we got. So it's clear that making something very directional, like a cannon, is somewhat effective.
Jamie is working on a cluster of 5 pyramid-shaped paint mortars, one for each wall and the ceiling.
It's going to be basically a cluster of pyramids with with an explosive at the point of each pyramid.
I gotta tell you right off the bat, I'm really liking that. See, what I'm thinking of is I use a thin strand of det cord, which is detonation cord or primer cord. It's basically like an explosive rope. It's an extremely high-speed detonation, which should vaporize the paint much more efficiently than black powder. So what I do is I wrap several, like a gallon's worth of tubes of paint around a central core of det cord, and the world is my oyster to paint.
After hours slaving over a hot welder, Jamie has the finished product, a carefully crafted 5-way paint mortar.
Well, should be fun.
Well, I guess it's time to get back out there. Both of our devices are ready. All we got to do is do a little bit of rebuilding on that house.
Yeah, I've got my device, which is going to paint each individual wall a separate color.
Yeah, because of that, I'm worried that you're actually going to blow out some of the walls with this, so I'm going to go mine first. The paint tubes, I think, should be the first test.
Well, we got a lot of work to do. Let's get at it.
All right, cool. This is, without a doubt, returning to the scene of the crime. I got to somehow make this building salvageable and reusable within the next 90 minutes. This is tubes of, I think this is 4 or 6 mil polyethylene, heat sealed into long tubes filled with paint. It's a ½ gallon up here and ½ gallon down here. They're thinned down with water, and running up the center of them, this orange stuff is, I think it's a 50-grain det cord, detonation cord. Painting with explosives in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I see a lot of green. And the building's still standing.
Well, that's a good thing.
That is a very good thing.
Let's go look.
Are we clear to look? Oh, man.
Yep, the walls have a coat of paint, but is it any good?
I thought it would be a little better than that.
The detonation cord looks like it was ideal. It spread the paint in a fine mist without damaging the walls, but it's not a perfect paint job.
Coverage, total crap, unfortunately. Well, are you ready to set up yours?
Yeah.
Dude, 1 more inch.
Next, our explosive experts help give this paint bomb its bang. Through each of the 5 pots, they feed separate pieces of detonation cord. The blast is concentrated by tying them into a knot. With 5 ½ gallon paint bombs ready to pop, Jamie carefully tapes them into position.
The flower of death.
Las flores de los muertos.
That's it.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Los cazadores de mitos.
Let's go.
Okay.
Stop talking. Plug in. 3, 2, 1.
The window looks pretty red.
And I don't, yeah, it doesn't look like it did what I wanted it to do from here. But let's go find out.
That's horrible. Dude.
That is not at all effective.
No, it's actually a fantastic way to do abstract expressionist painting. This is a masterpiece in here. I swear to God. Really, this is Jackson Pollock through and through and through. Each wall actually is like a different phase of his career. Our experiment in home improvement with dynamite, painting with explosives, what's the verdict?
Mr. Bean version, busted. Our version was also busted.
Yeah, I think the best that can be said about what we achieved was that you found a stunning way to make instant modern art.
Yep, but it's still busted.
Yeah, it's busted.